I thought it was only me noticing this happening, noticing targeted attacks. It's not just social media. It's not just people who hate renewable energy targeting people personally on social media uh, and unleashing their fury. It's a lot more than that. It's a much more sinister. And unfortunately, this is really harming a lot of people. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Verbally abusing children, boycotts of farming businesses, painting threatening messages on roads. These are just some of the intimidation tactics being used against people who host renewable energy projects. Farmers, people who need the money, who have solar panels or wind on their land, they are being targeted by people who hate renewable energy. Is it oil companies targeting? Is it potentially fossil fuel companies targeting them? Coal power companies? I don't know. It could just be rove lunatics. These examples were detailed in the Clean Energy Council's submission to the Australian Government Senate inquiry into climate and energy mis and disinformation. And I know this is happening in other countries as well, including the United States. It is one of the few submissions of the 150 and counting to describe how individual landowners are being harassed and treated, and mirrors reports by the New South Wales Energy and Water Ombudsman. And I don't personally think that this is just people who hate renewables. There has to be more to it than that. YouTube's new algorithm means that you're often not getting all of our videos in your feed. There's 7,500. I'm pretty sure you're probably not seeing a lot of them. In the description, there is a link to our newsletter. Click on that and you can get an update every day of all the latest news in the electric car industry. Clean Energy Council Policy Officer William Churchill lays the blame for this breakdown in communities of behaviour, honestly, terrible behaviour, at the door of false information being spread online, particularly certain politicians, Donald Trump and others, spreading this misinformation. And let's be fair, there's a lot of stupid people out there who are incredibly gullible and believe absolutely anything they are told if it's told to them by a person who they think is cool or powerful or impressive. Clean Energy Council members are reporting a direct increase in the level of hostility and intimidation and harassment directed at farmers and their families that are hosting clean energy infrastructure. We believe this activity is directly correlated with the increase in misinformation and disinformation circulating through digital platforms and is playing a substantial role in driving community tensions. Sadly, every single day of the week, I see this misinformation online. Anytime I'm on social media, every time. There is always, for me, because I follow renewable energy projects, I follow people, channels that promote this kind of thing. Most of the comments are negative. Most of the comments are slamming solar. They are slamming wind. They are slamming batteries. And the most ridiculous things get said. People believe this stuff all too easily. It's unbelievable how stupid many people have become. The Senate inquiry is looking into climate and energy and disinformation targeted campaigns and foreign and local organizations funding astroturfing, fake grassroots movements that are actually coordinated marketing campaigns. Here's the thing, it's been reported many times this year and even last year that whenever there is applications for renewable energy projects, about 95% of the people who fight against them, who write in letters saying, no, 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 you cannot build this renewable project, you cannot build this solar farm, you cannot build these wind turbines, you can't put a battery on this project, on this piece of land. 95% of them don't even live within a 200-kilometer radius of the project. 95%. We're talking thousands and thousands of people who are actively trying to fight against renewable projects, who are not even being affected by them in any way whatsoever. They don't even live in the same state, even sometimes don't even live in the same country. Many of the submissions claim the government is the biggest purveyor of these campaigns, and a number of individual submissions outline anxiety over having big projects near their homes. But it's landowners who are facing the wrath of groups opposed to renewables or to projects in their areas. Alone and online forums are making the problems worse, say authorities. The increasing mis and disinformation circulating freely online is creating conditions that intensify psychosocial risk factors, leading to unsafe environments for hosts, workers, and members of communities. Inflamed tensions in communities unnecessarily fuels conflict between hosts of renewable projects and neighbouring landholders and community members. This has real and concerning consequences, including bullying, intimidation, harassment, fear and confusion in communities, and even threats to the lives of those working in the sector. Just going to reiterate that, threats to the lives of those working in the sector. This is just absolutely insane. The submission described an anonymous case study where the daughter of a landowner who hosts a renewable energy project was verbally abused at the local pub by a member of a local anti-renewables group. Anti-renewables groups, the fact that they even exist is unbelievably ridiculous. That group has since organised a local boycott of the landowner's business. They have a grain business. And there is a growing sense that opposition groups are coordinating efforts to economically isolate landowners who support renewable infrastructure. There's also a growing belief that these groups are being funded by fossil fuel companies, by owners of mines, by owners of alternative products like coal, for example. Another case study was of Lachlan Sullivan, a farmer from Boomy, New South Wales, who stood up in a meeting last year to try to correct some of the misinformation about the Kerrs Creek wind project. Renewableenergy.com.au, who provided this information in this video, says that he says while some in the community support him, he has faced huge backlash, which has taken a toll on his mental health. Churchill says his group's members are reporting that key messages based on mis and disinformation, and to be honest, complete bullshit, just stuff that Donald Trump's coming up with, just nonsense, saying that Australians who have solar panels are going to hell and all this other stuff like this. Anyway, he says they're being copied and pasted and shared broadly through social media interactions, media engagement, letterbox drops, community meetings, and environment and planning submissions in a concerted effort to destabilise the industry. Now, the environment and planning submissions are being completely hijacked by people, as I said before, who don't even live within hundreds of kilometres or even in the same state as the renewables projects. Most of them, fighting against them, do not live in the same state. False claims spread rapidly, often amplified through emotionally charged framing and social media algorithms. This fosters confusion and resentment within communities, he says. Often, the exact same text can be observed across several anti-renewables Facebook groups. How do you guys feel about all this? To me, I find this alarming. I almost feel sorry for the people that are doing this because they are mentally disabled. There's something wrong with them. They don't have the intellectual ability to discern for themselves that what they're doing is not only wrong on a moral ground or ethical ground, but it's wrong in the sense of a logical ground. The whole point of renewables is to reduce the cost of electricity. The whole point is to enable Australians and Americans and Germans and everyone else to be able to create their own electricity from wind and sun and to bring the cost of electricity down. And yet, insanely, these individuals have been so brainwashed by the anti-renewables agenda that anything their great leaders tell them, they believe it like it is basically gospel from their sort of religious God or something. It is utterly ludicrous and it's sad. What are your thoughts? Thanks for watching. The Sydney EV International Motor Show. If you want to get a 50% discount on your tickets, all you got to do, click the link in the description and use the promotion code that's in the description. Just copy and paste that. Now, I should mention there's only 200 tickets available per day. So if you go to use the promo code and you can't get a ticket, wait till the next day. Don't wait until the day before the show to get your tickets because otherwise you'll probably miss out on getting the 50% discount.